Welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to talk about your bass management, your crossover settings, when to set it to a certain hertz for your speakers, subwoofer, and on your AVR, and why and when you want to do this to in a certain situation. And this also applies to people that are running tower speakers, but our main focus is going to be on bookshelf speakers. So I'm going to give you guys like 3 main scenarios, and starting out with the most common ideal scenario settings, you're going to want to run all your bed layer speakers on small. Your height is going to be on small. Your bed layers 80 hertz. Your height's going to be at 120 hertz. Your sub crossover on the AVR is going to be at 80 hertz, and your subwoofer itself, the low pass crossover, is going to be at 80 hertz. So ideally, we're running everything at 80 hertz except for your height speakers, and that is the standard. That is the one of the best settings that you want to do. And on your subwoofer, if your subwoofer at 80 hertz, if your subwoofer, if it's unable to handle 80 hertz without distortion, you're gonna have to turn your knob to bypass on the subwoofer, so that way there's less distortion. Now, if your subwoofer don't have the bypass dial, you pretty much gonna turn it all the way up to the max hertz that your subwoofer can provide. That would be like 120 hertz or 160 hertz or 200 hertz or whatnot. So that is the first common scenario and is the best by far, by the consensus. On the second scenario, based off the first scenario of your bass management, let's say that it becomes too boomy. The way you want to approach this is that you're going to change all your 80 hertz to 70 hertz. So that's your bed layers 70 hertz, your heights at 120 hertz, your subwoofer on the AVR crossover at 70 hertz, but on your subwoofer, you're going to leave that at 80 hertz. And of course, the speaker size for all that is going to be small. Now, on your AVR subwoofer crossover, if your processor or AVR is unable to go below 80 hertz, what you're going to have to do is, on your subwoofer, you're going to want to dial that 80 hertz down to roughly 70 to 75 hertz on that sub. And if you looking for a processor or AVR that can do lower than 70 hertz, lower than 80 hertz for those who want it, you're going to have to go to a higher tier, a higher end, and that's going to be anything above Arcam or Rotel and above that. And then for your third scenario, now this is not common, but if your left channel, center channel, right channel, your LCR, if your LCR can handle low frequencies really well, if your speakers can handle that, this is the scenario that will benefit you. So on your LCR, you're going to run your speaker size on large, all at 60 hertz. Your bed layer surround sound, speaker size small at 80 hertz. Your height channel at small and 120 hertz. On your AVR crossover settings for your sub, 80 hertz. And on your subwoofer itself, your low pass crossover it's gonna be at 80 hertz. And I run that in my theater room, then it's amazing if you have that capability. Also, sometimes for my LCR, I leave my center channel at 60 hertz large, but sometimes for the left channel large, I run that at 80 hertz and the right channel large at 80 hertz. So that'd be left channel 80, center channel 60, right channel 80, and all in large. So I don't know between the two which one I prefer. I can't really tell the difference between the 80 60 80 from the 60 60 60. But if I do figure out which one is actually better, maybe I'll make a video about that. But that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. Thanks guys for listening. Hopefully you guys learned something from it, and hopefully it's not too confusing. But let me know, are you guys running a similar scenario? Which out of the three you like best? If you're running something different, please share, comment below, keep it friendly. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hooded Dragons out.